goes up on the YouTube page because there's usually a. Yep, still starting soon. Yeah. I actually have a decent computer and I wanted to start doing the whole Twitch TV thing, but like everyone's either doing simple screen recorder and just pasting the RMTP into the source, or they're doing the scripts. I'm like, this is nowhere near as good as XSplit. Like, I even thought about switching to Windows on my PC just for that. But then I saw this, I'm like, oh, cool.
And the basic idea is to make it simple. Eventually, you just need a few profiles to say, I have a good bandwidth or not, and select the proper profile and do the screencasting.
Now, do you plan on having like a simple and an advanced mode so you can just say like, oh, I should pause that. Yeah, we're live in the stream, by the way, now.
Yeah, we're live now. Great.
Hi, everybody. But yeah, it just seems like, so do you plan on having like just having the setting based on bandwidth and then you can do advanced settings if you want, or do you just plan on doing one or the other?
ScreenStudio 1.0, I kind of forgot that I reached the 1.0, already has that. Basically, the GUI has a simple interface. You just select the proper profiles you want in there, and that's about it. If you want to go to the advanced mode, if you look at the website, currently that has been updated a few minutes ago, you can download the default configuration file and load it into ScreenStudio. And that default configuration file contains everything you need to tweak. So for advanced user, actually it will be easier to use the configuration file, the XML file, and to put their own tweaks in there and their own setting, so their parameters will be already available, and also they will be able to share their own settings or their own service if they're broadcasting elsewhere than Twitch or Ustream.
That is really cool. I could honestly see this like being the Linux equivalent to like XSplit or OBS in the near future.
That's what I have in mind. Basically, there's a lot of options available for Windows or Macs. In the Linux world, basically, you have to rely on your own script, and often people are afraid of using the command line, so they kind of, no, I don't want to open the terminal. And with ScreenStudio, everything is built in.
Yeah, I've gotten the script to work once or twice, and then I end up losing it or something weird happens. And the other thing, I can't get the webcam to stay over. So like I was streaming Republic Commando, which you have to do in Wine on Linux, and it would like try to run away from my webcam. So like I have like two monitors, and I would try to open it on the one monitor where my webcam was at, and that's where I had it recording, and then it would just run away to the other. I'm like, it's 2014. This shouldn't be happening.
Yeah. That's always the thing happening. Like, you have the geeky way of doing it, but basically you kind of end up trying to make it work and fiddling with the parameters, and then you look into forums to tips and tweaks that you can apply. So ScreenStudio is kind of, okay, let's forget about that. People, advanced user, will be able to share their knowledge and their tweaks, and less advanced users or people who just don't want to bother with that will simply download ScreenStudio, pick the proper profile, and there we go. We're sharing and broadcasting on Twitch, Ustream, or whatever, or just recording locally.
Gotcha. And one more, or I actually have a personal question. Do you plan on making the banners movable in the near future?
You mean adjustable, like if you want a lower bandwidth?
No, so like the banners. So like right now I can put like the little pictures, and I could have like the picture and then the font or the words to the side. Do you plan on allowing users to move that in the future?
Yeah, eventually I'll add more options to for the overlay and the banners and the text. Currently I kept it simple. Hi, Carl.
Hi guys. 1 second, that I have to install the plugin because I didn't do this yet.
Well, Carl Ellis is the currently manager of the Webcam Studio project, my old project. He's the guy taking care of this now.
Gotcha. So did already having stuff done with Webcam Studio help out a lot with doing Screen Studio?
Please, can you speak slow because I'm Italian and I don't understand.
Bueno,
Sorry.
bueno.
So,
Yes.
did you guys working on Webcam Studio together, did that help in working on Screen Studio?
Basically, I can answer that, Carl. Webcam Studio was given to Carl like a year ago. Screen Studio, actually, there's a lot of experience I got from Webcam Studio. So Screen Studio was more as how to use the AVConf command line. But basically, Webcam Studio and Screen Studio are two kind of different beasts. Webcam Studio is a whole engine to mix multiple sources of video. Screen Studio is just a wrapper against AVConf and is there to just put the webcam in overlay and do the banner at the same time. But Webcam Studio does it internally, so and it is dynamic at the same time. So you can, while you're while you're streaming and broadcasting, you can move around your webcam or whatever you're displaying. In Screen Studio, everything is static. Once you started recording or broadcasting, then you have to live with what you have set up. So that's the main difference between the two projects. One is way more advanced, Webcam Studio, and one is way more simpler. This is Screen Studio.
I noticed that. I tried to use Webcam Studio for a little bit, and then I noticed it just was not really what I was looking for, and it was really complicated, but it looked cool.
It's a great software. Webcam Studio had, remember that like 6 years ago when I started Webcam Studio, I just wanted to capture my webcam and do some live broadcasting with a webcam overlay to a virtual webcam, which the Flash plugin could use, and then I could broadcast on Ustream or Livestream or whatever. So the idea was to create a virtual webcam. As time passed, then RTMP became more popular, and we did some implementation in Webcam Studio to broadcast with RTMP. I think, Carl, you did a lot of modifications to make it work. Like when I left the project, it was almost working, but I think you got it to a point that Webcam Studio now is able to broadcast live also, but you need a really fast computer to be able to do it, right?
Yeah. The first time that I see the 0.5 version, I look at this software made by Patrick, and I don't understand nothing. How to broadcast, I don't understand how to make things, and slowly I understand the logical process to do the things in Webcam Studio 0.5. When the 0.6 came out, I noticed an improvement of the streaming of videos. That for me is the main goal is to stream videos, not the webcam or other. And now I know why the all 0.6 version was better. I think, don't know, Patrick, tell me if I'm wrong. I think because the 0.6 version use the AVConf command line and not the GStreamer API that 0.5 version uses. From the first goal was that with the help of Patrick, I've been able to bring the frame rate at a good rate, the quality of the video. It was very difficult for me because I don't know nothing of Java yet, and with very in a very hard way, I I let Webcam Studio eat my dirty code, and no, I'm very rookie on that. But I see that it's almost working, and yeah, this program needs a very fast machine to broadcast over the 320 uh, and width and 248 of resolution. But I think that I bring forward the project anyway.
Yeah,
And
you did some great improvement in there. The thing you have to remember is that Webcam Studio 0.5, that series was working with the API of GStreamer, GStreamer-Java, which was kind of a wrapper of GStreamer. So basically, it was working, but there was a lot of quirks. And the GStreamer framework does have some few bugs that makes it a little bit hard to implement something that will work. So with the series 0.6 of Webcam Studio, then I turned to FFmpeg and AVConf as using them as wrappers to capture the different sources and also to broadcast and record locally. So my move to AVConf was done like a few years ago, and that's where Carl took off with the latest release of Webcam Studio. So from there, I already had the experience and knowledge to properly use AVConf or FFmpeg to do more advanced stuff. So in my mind, ScreenStudio was kind of a natural evolution of what I wanted to do in the first place 6 years ago when I was home and I wanted to record my desktop to share on Ustream. And for people who know about the history of Webcam Studio, the first version of Webcam Studio was a bash script invoking FFmpeg and being able to display like a small banner. So ScreenStudio is kind of the original Webcam Studio before it got more advanced with video and audio mixing. So I kind of went back to the source and said, okay, initially what I wanted it was to share my desktop, and found out that the avconf command is able to overlay a webcam, also some banner and text. So I said, hey, there's something. If I knew about that like 6 years ago, Webcam Studio would have been ScreenStudio. But anyway, it ended up as Webcam Studio ended up as a great project where you can do like, it's a real TV studio in a box. ScreenStudio is relying on your screen. So that's the natural evolution of ScreenStudio, coming from Webcam Studio, coming from the initial script that was called Webcam Studio 0.1. I think I still have the original script somewhere in one of my websites. I don't know. It's
somewhere buried in the bowels of the internet.
Yes, it's around somewhere. But what I like is that Webcam Studio, I really thought that in 2013, when I decided to stop working on Webcam Studio, that the project would die, as I kind of mentioned a few times in that time that okay, does someone want to work on Webcam Studio? I want to stop, and nobody actually offered any help. So I said, okay, I'm gonna stop. The project will be there, and eventually, if someone's want to work on it, and eventually, and what happened? Carl came up and said, "Can I took care of the project. I said, yes, be my guest, have fun. And then we exchanged a few ideas and worked together on a few things just so we can get the knowledge on how to work with Webcam Studio. And I did other stuff in the last year. I put my time and my mind more on broadcasting and creating videos and just having fun, building some new websites. And 2 or 3 weeks ago, I don't remember when, I said, yeah, I think I can do that. And it took me, the original ScreenStudio, the one I did 2 or 3 weeks ago, took me like 4 hours to make it work. And after that, it was just about, okay, I can do this and I can do that. And eventually, I reached today the ScreenStudio 1.0. That is the final result of everything I learned about doing videos and screencasting. And the goal is always to keep it simple, because even though we're Linux users, it doesn't mean I want to open my terminal and do some commands. Sometimes I just want to launch, click, and make it works. I just want it to work out of the box. I don't want to think about, I need to do this and I need to do that. No, I just want it to work. So ScreenStudio has that as the first goal. Make it simple. And as we said earlier, I don't know if we were broadcasting at that time, but advanced user can still go in there and apply their tweaks by playing with the configuration file. Basically, I think what is cool of ScreenStudio now is if you download the configuration file, the XML, and apply your tweaks or your own encoder, or simply use FFmpeg because you don't have AVConf. We've seen that in the community. Some people are having issues because FFmpeg is not actually supporting the same features, but maybe there's another way to do it. Then they can create their own configuration file and just share them around, or even send them to me and I'll put their own configuration. So basically what we could end up with is have a configuration file specific for each distribution or each version of this distribution, or for specific services. Right now, ScreenStudio 1.0 does support Twitch, Ustream, and what's the other one? YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah, so that's the three I've put in there, and I've integrated also 2 file formats that does work well on computers that are not really fast. But let's say that you want to record in MKV, then you just add a new profile and service in there. I'll have to show you how basically it works. It's quite simple. You just put more stuff in there, share it, and eventually every file will be downloadable. What I'm thinking of is that the website, screenstudio.crumbs.com, will have a section of available profiles that you can download, and you use whatever you want.
Just kind of add a page where like people can add their own profile, basically.
Yeah, just a thing that I need to still better document the format of the XML file. I've done some job on that today, as I want it to be simple, but nothing prevents anyone to add more. They can even tweak the configuration file to say, I want to stream my IP camera that is built on the wall, and then I want to capture from another source. Basically, ScreenStudio is meant to capture the screen, a webcam, and apply an overlay. That's the goal of ScreenStudio. But let's say that you have 2 webcams and you want to have them side by side, then tweak the file and share your own configuration. So if some other people want to do the same thing, then they can do it just by importing your own setup. So I think that's where advanced user will have fun tweaking that configuration file, which is actually quite easy, and the way it is structured, everything is kind of well laid out, and it's not hard to figure out how it works.
That's really cool. And while you were talking, I think I found the original Bash scripts and I just sent it to you in chat.
It's
It
surely
might be it.
somewhere. Let me see. FTP, NLUG, OS Linux, then Vector Linux. Yeah, I remember some guys from Vector Linux.
Oh my god. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's really old, and I think in the original, because eventually what I did is I should shut down the Webcam Studio website this year. The what is the address again? ws4gl.org. That's the main website.
ws4gl.org.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking at that time. But anyway, I should shut down this domain this year. I'm kind of maintaining the website, just the domain, and it's been redirected to my new domain, which is more has a more general purpose in life. But somewhere deep down, the original script is still there. I would have to go to my Google app site and see if I can dig it out. But I'm not sure it still works today.
Yeah, I think I'm going to post that link on the community page because that's hilarious. And it's kind of a cool history lesson, too. And also just one comment, I really like how you try to appeal to everybody for the college student like me who's been using Linux just on a desktop for 2 years, who just kind of wants to point, click, and fail at Dota and let other people watch, as well as the Gen 2 user who has 3 chins and 4 neckbeards.
Yeah. I'm 43, and I have a lot of experience with Linux and computers. I'm a software developer also, currently project manager where I work. But I like to keep things simple. I have an iPhone, actually. I don't even have an Android. I have an iPhone because it just works, and I like it like that. I don't want to tweak it. I don't want to change my backgrounds, or just want to use it. But I do like advanced stuff. So I do like playing with Linux, mostly Ubuntu, because it just works. Basically, you just put the CD in or USB key in, and 15 minutes later, you have a brand new desktop. But from time to time, I kind of, oh yeah, I think I could do that. And then I go in, open the terminal, and yeah, I can do it, and it does work. And when I find a way to make something more easier and simpler, then I share it with the community on the web, and from time to time I do create some projects. Webcam Studio and ScreenStudio are just 2 of my projects. There was one called, oh darn, it's been a while since that one, but it was called NWE3 MP3 Manager. You have to go back in 2006 where I bought an MP3 player from Sony, and you needed a software, Sonic Stage, if I remember well, to put your songs on your MP3 player, kind of an iTunes-like software, but from Sony. And that software was so crappy, it was crashing all the time, and there was all kind of issues. So eventually, what I did, I reversed engineered the file format of the MP3 player, and created my own, which was called NWE3. That was the brand of the MP3 player, and that became a great success. And eventually got forked into a project called J Symphony, I think. And it was even available under Ubuntu repository. I think the project is dead now because that MP3 player does not exist anymore. So it kind of died with the hardware. But
they have that functionality in Banshee now. Sorry to interrupt, but you can I sync music files to my S4 through Banshee, and it's just like iTunes. I plug in my phone, and it's just oh, you want your S4 playlist here. So.
Yeah, when your MP3 player is able to just drag and drop the file, it does work. The issue we had with that MP3 player from Sony is that they use kind of an encrypted file system, like the iPods and the iPhone. So I kind of reversed engineer everything and created a small Java software that you could put on the MP3 player itself, and just plug it in any computer that had Java and copy your files and add more music into it. It was great fun, but I stopped working on that project to start Webcam Studio in 2008, and then stopped working on Webcam Studio, did some other stuff, as you can see on my YouTube channel, and started now, a few weeks ago, ScreenStudio 1.0. And after that, I don't know what will happen.
So do you have any plans for distro-specific packaging? Like right now it's just a Java file, but do you plan to like have an Ubuntu repo and a SUSE repo and all that?
I'll see how it will go. Eventually, what I want to do is make it as generic as possible, relying on the configuration file that people can tweak to their like. For packaging, I think what I will do is actually let that to the users of each distro if they want to maintain their own specific package for their distro. I think, was it Slackware that did that for Webcam Studio? I don't remember which distribution, but one distribution did that with Webcam Studio. And I think, Carl, you're currently doing it as a package for Ubuntu.
Yes, it's a Phobos K that, thanks God, build all the all the websites of Webcam Studio. You, Patrick, already done the Google site with the code, and he built up the PPA repository, integrating the video for Linux to loopback and bring them together, the two packages, and works quite well. You have to Webcam Studio has a lot of dependencies. When you install the first time, you are about to download 50 megas or 60 mega of files because the streamer, AVConv, and a lot of others. But the packaging is made by Phobos K, and there is sometimes I put my hands on the script to update the things a little, because this guy Phobos K is very busy, and he can't do all the time the work, and I understand him.
That's the same thing for all of us. We kind of have jobs and girlfriends, and like we can't spend all our time of our time to work on the projects. As you said, Phobos K is now maintaining the package for Webcam Studio. So I think in the end, I'll do the same thing for ScreenStudio, as if someone wants to take care. And packaging is kind of a science by itself. So I've tried it a while ago, and I kind of, oh darn, I don't know how it works. I can make a software, I can do video mixing in real time. I couldn't figure out how to create a packaging system that would work with a repository. Like, my brain has some limits.
ScreenStudio doesn't have all that dependencies, because the burn is simple. You make it simple for that, and I think it's not so hard to make a package.
Dependency. I'm sorry.
No.
Go ahead.
Maybe we can study one. I think it's quite simple, because now with the experience that I made with Webcam Studio packaging, and I broke the package a couple of times, and then I have to downgrade the code, because but at the end it's still okay, and I think we can make a package for ScreenStudio, because the jar works in itself. So I think it's not so difficult.
There's almost no dependencies for a ScreenStudio, as you need the GRE7 Java 7, which normally OpenJDK, and libav tools, which is for AVConf. So basically, if you have that on your computer, in Linux, of course, it should work. The only issues I'm facing currently is some distributions do have different version of libav tools and do not support one of the special filter. I'm using the dash filter underscore complex, which does the video mixing. So older version of AVConf do not seem to support that, but I don't want to stop my development with that. That's why I'm always talking about Ubuntu 14.04 with ScreenStudio, and I just want to concentrate on that distribution for now. If it does work in another distribution, great. If it doesn't work, then maybe we can find some tweaks. But my time for now, as it's brand new, as it's kind of there's a lot of people commenting and sharing the stuff. I just want to keep my mind on, okay, let's make it work out of the box for Ubuntu 14.04. And then we'll move forward from there, like, okay, let's say for other distributions, what are so special about that distribution that it doesn't work? Like, I think I have one user having issues with Mint OS, which I think the AVConf there does not work. So maybe there's something to update or to apply. And that's where ScreenStudio 1.0 does have its strength, as you have a configuration file. Tweak it. We just need to find the proper settings in there, and it will work in Mint OS and whatever. I even made it work partially in not Leopard, Maverick, in OS X on my Mac. Like the GUI would load, and I could like launch it. It would work basically, but I had a few issues because AVConf is not the same on a Mac than on Linux. But I don't want to go far in there, as Mac user already have their screencaster, and Windows user, we don't talk about that. Like, they already have a bunch of solution available, and they do work well. But I wanted something for Linux, something for Ubuntu that would be easy to use. And that's why ScreenStudio is now available. Oh, that's a great speech. I should do some sales or something like that.
You should. Just get like a part-time sales job, and then that way you can work on your projects more.
I could do that, but actually I have experience from the sales department where I worked in the past, where I had to deal with great people who were professionals, salesmen, and we're speaking about people who were selling projects worth many thousands of dollars. I don't want to say the numbers, but I had to learn and deal, and they had knowledge that I'm still using today when I do try to sell my new ideas and my new projects, and it does come handy from time to time. So, but it took a few years to be able to master the art of saying a lot of things just to say I get it.
Yeah, I can understand like calculus 1, 2, and 3, but people, that's a completely different subject.
What I would suggest, I could share my screen and have a little tour. That would be the official initial tour of ScreenStudio 1.0, as we can review the features of that new version, which is way simpler.
Yeah. Do you want to do your screen or should I do my screen? It's either or.
I'll do the screen sharing, as I know where to go, and then let's say that we can go back to your screen and try some stuff.
All right, sounds good.
Great. So I'm going to start my screen sharing. It may lag a bit as that computer is not really fast, but it should hold up. Okay, let's share my desktop. And it should be on. You see my desktop?
Yep.
Yeah.
Great. So welcome to ScreenStudio 1.0 FM. Okay, basically what you're seeing is ScreenStudio when it has started. So you'll notice that the layout has changed a little bit from the previous version. We have one more tab than before. We have at the top here the icon in the taskbar near the time and network and so on, where you can start a recording or start your streaming or exit the application. I've put that there when it's supported by the distribution, of course, because on some distro it won't show up. But when it is supported by the OS, it will show up here. And what it lets you do is you can close ScreenStudio, but basically it's still running in the background. And then you can start your recording or streaming without showing the software. And basically 99% of the time, that's what you want to do. Like, just want to record. You have a few seconds before the recording does really start, and then you start to do your show. So if you want to bring it back as it doesn't show, you can simply click show, and there you go, you're back. If you want to exit, really exit the software, then you can exit from here. And also, now it's brand new, it's ScreenStudio 1.0. There's a menu here, really small, but click File and click Exit. And when you exit the ScreenStudio, it will remember whatever was set in your different tabs. So the next time you open ScreenStudio, you'll have the same settings as before. So normally that's what you want to do. So let's start with the tabs. As you can see, we have Record, Stream, Overlay, and Sources. Record is basically to record locally in the file. I now have in ScreenStudio an encoder file, which is an XML file. I'm going to show it to you. And this is for advanced user. If you're not into tweaking, then you don't want to see that part. Oh no, it's already on my desktop, I think. Here. There we go. My computer do lag a little bit. So I'm going to open that with the text editor. Should show up, and there we go. Almost there. There we go. So basically, that XML file does have many tags that will be used, but what I want to show you, let's put that in full screen. What I want to show you is that I have a structure in there saying this is a service that was created, in this case, the default one by me. It was made for the OS Ubuntu 14.04. The backend is libavtools, and the version of that file is 1.0. And then I start listing the services. So this is a configuration for Twitch TV, which means the target is RTMP. And I have two commands that I'm using. One for the with the webcam, one without the webcam. So this is the crunchy part, and where people will want to tweak their own settings. But if we go lower, here I can set up the different layouts that we can see, like I want a webcam at the top, at the bottom, at the left, of the right. If you want to add your own layout, then you just put your stuff in there, and job's done. And you put the label you want. For Twitch TV, there's a list, a predefined list of servers that was integrated for ScreenStudio. If the software, your service does not have predefined RTMP servers, then just put nothing in there, and I'll show you later what it does. And this is where you set your profiles. For Twitch TV, I've set a high profile. Moxer is FLV, grouping by 60 frame. Format is 1080p. then the codec, the preset, and everything, every value in there will be parsed into those commands here. So you can really fine-tune the configuration, and that's how it's basically working. A list of services with their own command, their own profile, and their own layout, and you just tweak whatever you want with that file. So let's say that I'm going to close that and go back to ScreenStudio. So what you see here is actually from the XML file. Nothing is hard-coded. So in the Record tab, I can currently record into FLV format or into MP4 format, coming from the configuration file we saw a bit earlier. And let's say I'm going to pick FLV, which is really great for computers like mine who are not really fast to encode. FLV seems to be the lightest of them all. And then in there, I've set up a few profiles to record locally. In full screen, meaning it will take the actual size of my screen capture. Or in high video, high is a video in X264, 1080p, and then you have a few values. I've set up medium at 3000K bitrate and a low profile at 1500 to record locally. So it does show you like a preview of that profile, what it will do when recording. So then I won't click record, but because I'm kind of afraid that my computer will die doing a hangout at the same time. But you would simply click record, and you don't have to choose any file because by default, ScreenStudio does keep. I want to go back in my home folder and go into your home folder, create a folder named ScreenStudio, of course, and we'll put your video files here, tagged with the date time of your computer. So you just click record and record and record, and everything will be added here, and when you're done, just delete your files, and everything will be ready. So you don't have to select your file, wonder if it's already existing, or it will work out of the box. On the second tab, which is meant to broadcast live, and then in there I've set up Twitch TV, Ustream, and YouTube Live. For Twitch TV, I can pre-select a server, let's say Dallas, and then your profile. I want to broadcast not in 1080p in my case. I would want to broadcast in 480p. And then I would enter my stream key here, provided by Twitch TV. Just put your key, your stream key in there, and then start broadcasting. And there you go. You're live on Twitch TV. If you want to broadcast on Ustream or YouTube Live, that's the same thing. They don't have predefined servers, so you have to go in your profile of Ustream or YouTube Live to get that server that we don't. I cannot provide it. So in that case, you have to provide their server URL slash the key stream, and you put everything in there. If you close ScreenStudio, when you open it again, the key URL will be remembered, so you don't have to enter it again. So it's kind of quite easy to do. Eventually, what I want to do is to be able to drag and drop an FML. That's the name, fml.xml file, the Flash Media Encoder, FME. The FME file, drag and drop, and it will be able to parse it and fill the information by itself. But basically, that's how streaming is working in ScreenStudio. And whenever you start streaming, that field here for your key will be hidden before the stream does start, and will be shown when the stream does stop. That's to prevent like sharing accidentally your key to the world.
Yes.
Then we go to the other tabs. So the overlay, basically, that's the overlay over whatever you're broadcasting. So you have a title, you have a subtitle. You select.
Patrick, do you want to hold
Yep.
on for a sec? Reshare your screen. Your video dropped for a second at the end there.
Okay, let's do that. Oh yeah, something
Yeah,
dropped.
my internet connection's slow or bogged down. I'm still in college, so
I have 10
I was
megabytes in
checking
upload.
Facebook and then
It kind of dropped,
yeah.
but we're still live. Okay, let's go back
Yep.
to the screen sharing. Okay, my desktop, and then screen share. Minimize that, and you're seeing my screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, great. So we were to the overlay tab, where you can put your title that will be put in there and subtitle, and those will be adjusted to the banner itself. So if your banner is 200 pixel in 8, then the title will be 2/3 of that 8, and the subtitle will be 1/3 of the height of the image being used for the banner. So basically, there are a few banners available, like provided by default, and of course one for ScreenStudio. And you can have your own banner in there. If you want to choose your own banner, you simply click here, and you can browse your folders for a PNG file. And what it does is, when selecting a banner, it will use it to put it to the left. So if you want a full screen banner, you just need to size it, the format of your output, actually your screen capture. So I'm not resizing the banner, just put it the right size, and then I'm working with that. It's kind of easier also to make it work. And then you can decide if your banner is at the top or the bottom. And you can choose the layout of your webcam being at the lower right, lower left, top right, top left, and center. And as you've seen earlier, actually those settings do come from the configuration files. So I could have more or less depending on that that profile. I'm currently using actually the encoder file I'm currently using. Everything is available in there. So that's for the overlay. For text, you can choose your color by selecting here. Currently it's white, so that button is white, but if I would pick red like that, then you see that my selection now is for the title to be red. Eventually font size and stuff like that will be added, but for now, like, I kept it simple. And then for the sources in the final tab, if you have more than one screen, you can select the screen you want to have, the frame rate, the capture frame rate of your desktop. In my case, 10 FPS is kind of the limit I can use. You can select the webcam you want to use, or no webcam if you don't want to use any webcam. Then you can select the format supported by your webcam, the capture format. That's something quite special. I cannot say like medium, high, low, because around the world webcams are quite picky about the format you're using. And there's a little tweak, the delay here, that is used to synchronize your webcam with the audio and your desktop. What's happening is when you have a desktop, microphone, and your webcam, you have 3 live sources. And actually, you don't know exactly when a source will start. And depending on your webcam, like in my case, I need to apply a small delay, 1/3 of a second, to make it perfectly synced with my audio and my desktop. So audio and desktop are perfectly synced, but the webcam is kind of taking like 1/3 of a second longer to start, and for some strange reason, it's kind of always late. So I just apply a small delay, in my case, minus 1/3 of a second, and then it becomes perfectly synced. And And at last, the microphone source, currently using my external microphone, but you can use your monitor, built-in audio, analog, stereo, whatever. I did found that recording from the monitor does have a delay in it, and that's a bug between Pulse Audio and AVCon. For some strange reasons, the frequency is kind of messed up, so you think you're recording at 44,000 and you're actually recording at 48,000, things like that. So I'm kind of following on this, but there are a few tweaks we can apply, but for now, let's say that, okay, I'm going to record from a microphone. And when you start broadcasting or recording, then you'll see everything showing up at the bottom saying current frame rate and current size of the file coming directly from AVConf, actually. If you're having issues with ScreenStudio, I'm going to close it like that. And you're having issues with ScreenStudio, something goes wrong, and you want to know why, what you can do is open a terminal. I'm going to go to my desktop and then ScreenStudio, and my jar file is there. So I simply type in java-jar ScreenStudio 1.0.jar, launch it from there, and it is a little bit more advanced, but you'll see everything being outputted to the console of your terminal, and then you can also redirect that output to a file to figure out whatever is wrong with ScreenStudio on your desktop if something goes wrong. But everything, some people suggested me to keep that log into a file, but let's say that you're broadcasting like for 2 hours, you would end up with a log file so large that it would defeat the purpose of keeping that info. So normally, if it has to crash, it will have issues at the start. So you can simply monitor by the terminal and see whatever is wrong. Normally, issues do come from compatibility with AVConf. So that's ScreenStudio 1.0. Which is supporting local recording and broadcasting to Twitch, YouTube, and YouTube, Twitch, and Ustream. And I've updated the website a few minutes ago. That's an hour ago now. And you can download the binary here, the source code here, and the configuration file here. Forgot to show you one last thing, how to load that. Let me start it again. I'm going to show it to you. Should show up in a few seconds, not secs. And
gosh, man, grow up.
Yeah, kind of. I said it and I said, no, that doesn't work. And then click File. Click Open, and simply select the encoder file. In my case, it's named encoders, and simply load the XML file, and ScreenStudio will parse it and make available whatever is configured in your own application. And at the top, I've integrated in the XML file like the OS version and backend of that configuration file, so we know that this one is targeted to for Ubuntu 14.04 using libavtools version 1.0. So that is ScreenStudio. So let's go back to you, Matthias. You have the name of one of my sons. Yeah, so I tend to say it in French, Matthias, which I do speak French usually.
Gotcha.
So
I actually took some in high school, but languages weren't my strong suit.
Yeah, I'm trying. Okay, there we go. I was trying to stop my screen sharing. I couldn't.
It happens. So, do you want to see how like this actually works for gameplay now?
Yeah, go ahead. I think you have a stronger machine than I have.
Yeah, a little bit. I spend a little too much of my summer job money on a PC last summer. So let's
We've
just
all
say
done that.
there's a few cores in here and a nice graphics card. All right, so I'll start my screen share. Close me viewing the stream. Start my screen share, and let's do. Well, let me just do one monitor.
Yep.
Google Hangouts. You sure? Desktop. Oh, is it wigging out again? It's trying to like flip back between the two monitors. Here, let me try something. This might end very badly.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
Kind of freaky.
Yeah, I think it's trying to get both my monitors at the same time. You guys still there?
Yep.
Awesome. Is it still? Whoa. Is everything smooth now?
Okay.
Yeah.
No. Ah, sì, sì.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I unplugged my other monitor. Just gonna make sure everything's happy.
Okay.
Does look
Alright,
great.
where are you guys? Ah, whoa. Okay, so that was cool.
Scotty, Warp 9.
I think we just need to keep that there for a while. Alright, so I should be able to open it up and record. Alright, there we go. So I'm gonna try an MP4 file, and then let's do the full screen. Yep. And then where does it save to usually?
In your home folder, you'll have a folder named ScreenStudio once the recorded will start.
Alright.
And everything will be added there.
Okay. So home, Control N. Come on.
But you have to start recording first.
Oh, okay.
That's the initial. If you don't have the folder, it will create it by default.
Awesome. So we're gonna start recording, and you guys can see me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has the little tux in the corner where my mouse is wiggling.
Yeah.
Awesome. What game should I try to open up?
Whatever cool game you have.
Oh, let's shoot some zombies.
Yeah.
I've never actually tried to stream games to YouTube. Have either of you guys?
I did it a few weeks ago, doing some live stream. I think one of the tour I did for ScreenStudio was live on YouTube, and it did work well.
Nice. Because you usually do NextWheeze, right?
Yeah, I do that because it does work on my laptop, and it's not too heavy at the same time. Today I did GLtron because it was lighter, and I was trying to. I'm gonna show something to you later. Actually, you could show it to us after the game will be done, because you can now screen capture just a part of your screen.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah, Left 4 Dead's kind of glitchy for me, but I'm gonna turn down the video settings just a little bit. Video 16:9, film grain. Yeah, none of that. Okay, that should be good. Single player. All right, let's see how this goes.
The thing also ScreenStudio does is whatever format you're using, it will ensure the proper ratio. So let's say you would record in 480p, then it will make sure that the ratio between the width and the height of your recording will match perfectly the size of your screen. So nothing will end up like stretched out because you decided to record in 720 by 480. That doesn't really work. So just using like 480p, ScreenStudio is calculating the proper width to make it work in 480p.
Nice. So do you primarily do everything in Java?
Yes, because that's the language I know most, and just because I already code in VB.NET, C# and PHP, and my brain is kind of full, and I don't want to learn another language. I should do it in Python, but it's quite easier for me to do it in Java. So that's the only reason it's in Java.
Wow, that was bad. Oh, okay. Get out of my way!
So you're currently recording in MP4 format,
Yeah.
doing a hangout, and playing Left 4 Dead at the same time. So you must have an incredible machine.
Yeah, I have an 8350 and a 7870 for my CPU and GPU.
Oh, darn. I just have an
So,
old laptop. So the stronger your machine is,
gosh,
the
everyone's trying to kill me.
So basically, you're able to keep up. Your machine is able to keep up with the stress you're putting on it. That's great.
Yeah,
And
that's nice.
if you
I honestly wish that I would have gone Team Green though for my graphics card, because the AMD drivers are shaky.
the frame rate on Hangout is not that good, but I think it's a Hangout issue.
Yeah.
Because you could do screencasting with Hangout. It does work well, but I've never seen like a perfect screencast in Hangout. It's kind of a little bit blurry, and the frame rate is a little bit low. And you currently have a good machine, even though you're kind of doing a lot of stuff at the same time. But you cannot achieve a great-looking recording of your desktop with Hangout. But it does work.
God. Alright, well, I'll probably close out of this because it probably looks terrible on Hangouts.
I would say yes. It's not ScreenStudio, you know?
Yeah, and also I've heard Twitch is a lot better for keeping up with gameplay rates. Alright,
So
I'm
go in
gonna
your
turn
home
off.
folder.
Go away. Oh, I'm definitely gonna edit that out later.
So go in your home folder. The file should be there in ScreenStudio folder.
Yep, there it is.
And
Now we'll play it back, and it should look right.
And it has been timestamped to the current date and time.
Yep. Except it's not. It's trying to. It could still be trying to finish the encode though.
No, actually, it's kind of real time. So, or you got a glitch because you're actually doing too much at the same time.
That
Look
I would
at the
not be
size of the
surprised.
file.
Properties. 342 meg.
So it should play. Try to play it with. No, normally VLC is able to do that, but try with another
Videos?
player. Yeah.
No
There's
playable.
something wrong.
It's probably because I'm trying to like do so many things like ScreenStudio cannot be working properly, or
Sorry,
still recording.
What format you
Oh, you were still recording.
I'm
That's
sorry.
why.
That could be a problem.
Yeah.
All right, let's try that
Okay.
again.
Now it should work. Yeah, the file wasn't used.
Yeah.
And
Let's
Patrick, there is
Yep, there it is.
one thing that I look at for ScreenStudio. When you click on the X and you exit the program, you don't exit the program because it runs in the background. I think it's good to put
A warning
or
there.
something like
Yeah, you told me that. I
program-
forgot about that.
Yeah, because every time I quit the I quit ScreenStudio, it keeps
Yeah.
broadcast, and then after an hour I look at the top. Oh, but there is ScreenStudio running, and I see the new menu. It's very good to exit, but a lot of people I think will do that.
Yeah, you're right. And I should like, do you want to keep that answer as a default one? Like, yeah, I know. Don't ask me again. Yeah, I'm gonna do that for well, in the next release. I really that is missing. Um, Matthias, could you go back to your desktop? I want to show how to screen capture an area of your desktop, and I kind of forgot to show that earlier.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so I'm back in. Oh, let me start my screen share again. We'll might see a deep space for a second. Start screen share. Yep, there it is. All right.
Okay, just open up ScreenStudio.
Yep.
Okay, go to the. Oh, we're switching between two screens again.
Are you?
Okay, there we.
My.
It's
Okay.
kind of flipping.
Seriously? I unplugged my
Yeah.
second monitor. That's like shouldn't be happening.
Okay, I think we're. Eventually, it will
Okay.
work. Oh, that's me. Okay.
This is getting weird. All right, we'll
Yeah,
try
this is pretty
to.
strange. You want me to do it then?
Yeah, that'd probably be the best
Okay.
idea.
Okay.
Then probably
Gonna
wrap
do
it
it
up.
on
I'm
my
getting
side.
pretty hungry.
Okay, I'm
All
gonna
right,
start my screen
let me
sharing.
stop the anarchy.
That's really
Okay.
strange. Okay, I'm gonna do it on my side. Desktop, screen share, and then you're seeing my desktop now?
Yes.
Right. So I'm starting ScreenStudio,
Yep.
and I have to think every time I'm saying ScreenStudio, I'm always almost saying Webcam Studio. I've been saying that word for so long. Whenever I say ScreenStudio, there's kind of a delay in my mind, like Webcam ScreenStudio. Okay, so if you want to capture an area of your screen, you go in Sources, and on the screen, you see here, there's a small text saying, okay, the current size is 1366 by 768. That's my resolution right now. And the X and Y are at 0. If you click on that, you'll have a small window showing up like that. And then you just put it where you want to capture and resize that window. Let's say I want to capture that area, and then click select. And then you'll see that the capture area now is 53, but at 5352 with 819, and then height. No, that's the width, and that the height is 517. So it's kind of okay. This is where I want to capture, and if I start a capture, I'm gonna try to make it work, and I'm gonna put an FPS really low because I'm really 5. Okay, so I'm gonna try it to record, and just you'll see what's happening when you're recording a screen area. And then let's click record, but I won't keep it that long because I'm really afraid that my laptop will die. So you start your recording.
Drum roll.
Can take a yeah. It's still There we go. It's slow, but it does work. And you see that
it's
the
working.
current area being recorded is highlighted by a rectangle. So you know that in that area I'm currently screen capturing. Here I'm not. I'm going to stop it before it blows up. But that's how you select the area you want to capture. Currently, I'm not saving the settings for the screen capture. If I want to reset it, I just open it again, click reset, and everything will be set back full screen. If I close ScreenStudio and open it back, the default will be full screen. So you have to set it every time. For now, with ScreenStudio 1.0. But eventually, I have a few plans in mind to let's go back to the hangout. I have a few ideas in mind to save those more advanced settings into a file or something like that. So, but let's say for ScreenStudio 1.0, I think that was a requested feature that a lot of people wanted to have.
All right. Well, if there's not anything else, are you guys cool with wrapping up?
Yeah, I think we can do it. If you want to download, go to screenstudio.crumbs.com. Everything is already available. Download. Join the community also on G+. Look for the link on the main web page or look for ScreenStudio in the communities of G+. And thank you for your support, guys. It was really nice to do that live release of ScreenStudio 1.0. Thank you, Matthias, for hosting that event. And we had a good time.
Yep. Nice meeting you, and nice meeting you, Carl. I will see you guys later. And by the way, I'll leave the G+ links and everything down there.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you very much.